Alright, hello people, and in today's video, I'm gonna make my 1 to 100 scale cardboard Titanic stern section sink down vertically. Now, I'm gonna have to do this properly because last time around, while shooting the stern rising sequence, it didn't really go according to plan, and I kinda had to assist it at the central prop with my hand, and that cannot happen for the sinking sequence because it has to actually stay upright, and for that we have to do it properly. So, the first thing we need is for the waterline to be approximately here, and then we have two factors we have to look at. First of all, the center of buoyancy, and then the center of gravity. Let's start with the center of gravity. So, you can imagine like that. If I was to take a stick and ram it through the side of the ship, then I could lift up that stick on, say, a forklift or something that keeps it static, and I could just rotate the stern around on it, and it wouldn't tend to tip to one side. It would be like a propeller. I could just spin it, and it wouldn't be heavy to one side. That's how you can imagine that. Now, the center of buoyancy is something completely different. That is going to be influenced by how deep the ship actually sits in the water, and it would get deeper if I put more weight in here. That means they are kind of manipulating each other. And the center of buoyancy, as I understand it, is basically the center of gravity of the water that would be there if the ship wasn't displacing it. So what we effectively need is waterline here, and the center of gravity above the center of buoyancy, but not above the waterline. That's our main goal here. Alright, so let's get this out, and then we'll test our first weight. God damn it. I think I might need to put the camera away. Okay, so let's put our first weight in just to kind of get an estimation as to how the balance is going to be. So let's try the old center of gravity first, which of course isn't going to work. Estimate. Alright. We are right about here now. Alright, so now we can calculate how deep this is actually going to sit in the water. So we have 3.5 kilos, that's the weight of the stern section, and 1.48 kilos, which is the weight of the bottle. So, put that in here. We see that we're approximately at 5 kilos here, which means we have to find how deep this has to sit in the water to generate 5 kilos of buoyancy. I'm gonna do it like this. 27.5 multiplied by 15. This is basically, it's basically gonna go like this. 27.5 centimeters is the inside of the ship across, and the 15 centimeters is actually the buoyant inside of the ship, like this. And now we're just gonna assume that this is gonna sit at a depth of, say, 20 centimeters. 20 multiplied by 20. 8.25 means that 20 centimeters in, this generates 8.25 kilos of buoyancy approximately, which is already way too much, which means we have to beef up the weight. But I think we can actually figure this out properly with the calculator right now. So we can basically just reverse this. We have this preset again here, and then we're just gonna measure how far it is from my waterline point to there. It's around 33 centimeters multiplied by 33. That means we need to make the stern 13.612 kilos heavy, which is quite a lot. That's 10 kilos more than it weighs right now. So we have to generate 10 kilos of weight in bottle form. That's wonderful. Okay, so now we have to fill all those bottles up with gravel. Here we go. Alright, so now that that's done, let's fill the bottles up with water and make them even heavier. Okay, we're done with that. Time to weigh them. Oh wait, one more thing. Fun fact, this company actually manufactured the swimming pool tiles for the Olympic class, so that's cool to know. And they were founded on April 14th, 1834. What a coinky dink. Alright, let's weigh the bottles. Okay, we are at 11.7 kilos. If we reduce it a bit, that's gonna be fine. So, yeah, we've got the weight. Okay, and now let's test fit the bottles and check the balance. Alright, let's just put them in. Kind of like this. Maybe space here, like that. Like this. Now the balance. Okay. So our center of gravity is currently round here. So that is good. That is actually below the center of buoyancy. But there is an issue with this whole thing. This will not work like this. Because if you think, the bottles themselves, they are displacing a certain amount of air, which then cannot generate the buoyancy necessary to lift said bottles up. So I have to recalculate this, because this will inevitably sit like this deep. That's an estimation, but I just kind of think that, this deep. And we have to reduce that by removing bottles and then recalculating that. I think I'm gonna do that off camera though, because I don't want to bore you with too much maths. Okay, I've got this figured out now. From here down to here, factoring in the air displaced by the bottles, of course, the stern generates 10.2 kilos of buoyancy, and the stern itself, completely with the weights inside it, weighs about 10.1-ish kilos. That means it's not exactly perfect. The waterline's going to be a bit lower, maybe around here, not here. It's going to be 2 centimeters difference, maybe, around that. So, yeah, that's not an issue, though. It's going to sink down anyway, so, yes, that is pretty much perfect. Okay, so what I've got to figure out now is how am I going to position the bottles in here, or like the weights, this also counts, in such a way that the center of gravity stays in the middle and doesn't move to one side or up or down, and make the stern kind of tip to the side or fall to the side. That will be the worst case scenario, of course. So yeah, let's get to that. Okay guys, so initially I actually wanted to put behind the scenes footage of the Stern sinking in this video, but that is now not gonna work due to some weather related issues. So yeah, the next possible shooting day, or like sinking day in this case, is gonna be on the 30th of November, so yeah. In the meantime, I'm going to continue working on this, and here's a tiny little sneak peek of what you're gonna see in the next Grand Staircase showcase. Thanks for watching.